to GESP and Soccer joint podcast. We are here to reimagine the playing field in women's football with female game changers. My name is Ruza, FA of Serbia grassroots manager, sports industry specialist, and former football referee. Let's empower the girls with this episode. Big round of applause for my next guest. Welcome to GESP and Soccer podcast. This joint episode will give me a pleasure to host one of my dearest colleagues on a daily basis with whom we are trying to change the women's football. Bojana Veselinovic, team manager of the Serbian women's national team. Dear Bojana, welcome to podcast.
Thank you very much. This was the best intro ever.
Well, if I would like to introduce you in a way it would take some time because there are so many nice things that I can say about you besides your work, as I like to highlight, and because of all the girls that are listening, that you're not what you're doing. You're much more than that. But what I really like about your job and the way how you're working is that you're super passionate about it. And even when the times are difficult and challenging, you still find the motivation to do a lot more than your job is. So how did you end up in our world of women's game? And how do you feel now after so many years?
Well, it's an interesting story, or maybe not, but I was completely away from football and from any kind of sport in my past. Most of my life I was working in tourism, and somehow I got invitation from Football Association of Serbia to start to work in federation, basically in women's football. To be honest, I was probably one of the millions who didn't know that we even have women's football, but it was advantage, somehow it was advantage for me, and I decided to try. And we agreed to start, to try at least for 6 months to see how it will be. And the funny story was that after 2 days, I was with under 19 team girls in qualification tournament. So it was like a fire, for me. But anyhow, I like it. And the most of all, I like to work with young people, this case with the girls. And that's how this love started. It was like 2 days enough to fall in love with this job. And here I am, 8 years later. I'm still here with let's say, the same passion.
Well, I can confirm that because since I met you, I feel that way. Even though I like to mention that when the times are tough and challenging, you still keep your values quite high, and this is something I admire and respect about you. But the answer you given is what I actually wanted, because you're the example of some professional who came from different industries and who ended up being part of football, who can bring a lot from the other industries, and who can actually set some approach that is needed to football, because sometimes from people like myself who are quite deep in football, from other sides, like being, a player, or like myself, referee, we sometimes do not see the important stuff that are happening or that has to be changed. And that's something that you brought into the women's game. And even when we speak now on a daily basis about our jobs, I still see and hear this perspective of yours, which also help us a lot. But now, after 8 years of women's game, in a period where actually a lot of change in women's sports, what can you say about the changes that happen within national team of Serbia from the day you came until now?
Well, a huge change, really a huge change. When I look back 8 years before and now, it's really big difference. First of all, to be honest, when I started, the women's football was, let's say, invisible. I have to say it was invisible.
For sure it was.
For sure it was. And at the moment we got the dedicated person, to the women's football. And actually it's a man. It was a man. It was not even a woman. The man who recognized all passion of the girls playing football. And he starts to fight, for the girls, for the females, for the women's football, for the national team. And that's how we started to grow up. Then we have now the vice president, who is also pretty much passionate, about the women's football. And I think finally we have team who can fight. We are, let's say, probably halfway of our target, but it's a big step. It's a big step, and I think the girls also started to look this way, that where they were like a few years ago and where they are now. It's a lot of things to do. There is a lot of things still to do, but at least we are trying to do something. We are fighting.
Yes, the game globally changed a lot over the past 8 years and over the past decade, not only in Serbia. But now I do feel when I speak about women's game that people say, oh, you have that girl who plays for Bayern. Oh, you have that girl that plays for Chelsea. And all in all, there is a buzz around it. And there is a buzz thanks to so many people behind the scenes that are not being seen. I mean, starting and speaking about you. I mean, there are so many of you guys, like team managers, who are really important part of the national team, but they're not being seen in a way. But when I see how much work you're doing, it's really, I can really say 1/3 of a national team. Second third goes to the coaching staff, and the last but not least is the players. There is really, really, really a lot going on. But the campaign we had, this Football for Girls, also brought some attention and spotlight to the women's game. Do you feel that echo of that campaign is still there in some ways?
For sure it is. That was one of the best thing happened to women's football in Serbia. Really, one of the best thing was that campaign. Probably the moment was also the right one. And I'm so proud of the team from FA of Serbia who did this, including you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so proud. And really, I was one of the person who was trying to inform even if UEFA and FIFA and other federation, because really I was so proud of what we did. Because really I wanted to make it loud to the whole world, like, look what we did, look what the girls have now. So I'm sure that this campaign brings a lot of benefits, to women's football. And still it's really interesting that even now, few years after, I can see this sentence, football is for girls. The people are using this like
yes.
It's something in common,
yeah.
for all of us. So really, hopefully that won't be the last campaign, but probably one of the best things happen in the history of the women's football.
We actually got that chance thanks to the fact that we didn't qualify for the Euro. So from one point and perspective, it is sad that we need to wait for a failure of the men's team so that we can have a room to do something for us as a women's team. But from the other perspective, if you look that as an opportunity, then why not? Okay, so we are using...
Take it.
Yes.
Or leave it.
Exactly. But I do believe that now there has to come a result. Because until some point you can go in that direction where you literally are collecting the crumbs around and looking for the rooms and windows where you can jump in and say something. But now to put your voice even louder, we need some results. Do you believe that our team is ready for that step?
Sure, 100%. They are ready. we had some failures, probably unlucky or this or that, whatever. It was a failure. But the point is that a few days ago or 2 weeks ago, actually, I was in UEFA. It was a draw for the European qualification. And I spoke with people from UEFA, the woman who is responsible, like the main person for the development of women's football. And I spoke with her like, oh, come on, did you saw that we failed? We lost against Iceland. We were so close, like one step to qualification. And she said to me, Bojana, listen to me. You are one step to the Euro. We can see you. You are visible for us. Everybody can see you, today, tomorrow, after tomorrow. But you are here, just one step to the Euro. And it was really encouraging, for me, for myself, for what I'm doing, for the girls, for the team, for everybody, involved in women's football. Like, okay, now they can see us, A few years ago, Serbia was just a country, the part of, you remember?
Just a participant of qualification.
But now we are something in...
Contenders.
Yes. In the women's football. So I'm happy. I'm really happy about that. And I'm sure that... we will do it. Okay, now we have a qualification for the Euro, and hopefully, we really hope and we believe actually that we will qualify for the first time in the history. And actually, that's the thing that we need. Like whatever we did all these years, we have some big, competition to qualify to the big competition, to do something, and I'm sure that we will be visible even much more. Much more.
Yes, that qualification and going into the, let's say, biggest competition would be a game changer for the women's game.
Definitely.
Because whenever you're present at the top scene, that's the moment when everything changes. I mean, for girls interested in playing football, participating in programs or even trying. But if you would have a chance to do something that can crucially change our sport, what that would be? Would that be disqualification, or would be something even more, even deeper?
Qualification to the European Championship will be really a big thing, Probably the first thing to follow the rest of the thing. But I can say that now we have the quantity. We have still not enough, but we have quantity, but we don't have quality. That's the problem. Because, we have a lot of small clubs, and I'm really proud of that the biggest number of small clubs we have in villages, in small cities, in southeast, not in the big cities like Belgrade or Novi Sad or Subotica. Okay, Subotica is still like the female football city, sorry. And it is something that in small places, in small villages or cities, there are girls, they are playing football, That is really a huge thing. Even this morning, that was definitely the picture of this day. This morning I was passing my building, my home, and there is a primary school next to my building. They have small yard, like a football yard, with the goals. And what I saw, the girl and two boys, like 8, 9 years old, she was wearing the gloves, the goalkeeper gloves, and she was a goalkeeper, and they were, shooting the ball, It was like just the three of them. I was so proud. Like, oh my God, maybe she started because I did something, you know? And definitely that was a picture of the day. And the things that I would like to change, what you ask me, is the quality of the female football, in generally female sport. Like everything what they are doing with a minimal, like things. Investments, and that is the main thing that I would like to change.
Yes, the girls, they deserve more in, as you said, in women's sport, not only women's football. They deserve more. And when I say more, we don't want to compete in terms of investments. We just need and deserve more. That's the point. Like, nobody wants to take profit that men's game is earning to men, but we as a woman, we deserve more. Our sport deserve that more for sure. But when we speak about quality, I also believe that there is a lot of coming from the coaching part and
Exactly.
from the staff part. When I say staff part, I say we need more professionals from, let's say, doctors, physiotherapists, who are literally educated to work with girls. You and I, we spoke about so many projects on that matter, about education of female athletes, where we want them to understand their
body.
their body,
Yeah,
exactly, the female health, how that is connected to their game, the hormones, everything in there, that we cannot, let's say, follow the nutritionists from the men's game for the women's body, that it's a different thing and it can actually cause you a lot of problems and to stop you in progress of your athletic career. But what bothers me the most is that still I feel that women's game is being a second choice to coaches, to staff, and everybody. If I didn't succeeded in men's game, I will choose the women's game.
True.
So this is something that bothers me, because I do believe that if you would educate yourself for the women's game, and if you would take that road as a primary road, you will maybe end up, because opportunity is there, being even more successful, more popular than if you would.
Yeah, you
use
are
it in
right.
this way.
You are right. But it's a process. Unfortunately, it's a process. You know, when we as a society start to talk and to think like, you know, when you have a boy, you know, and you as a mother said to your child, to a boy, like, why you don't go out and play football with the boys? When we change this, why you don't go out and play football with your friends?
Or kids, just kids. Yes.
You know? Then we can make a big change, you know. And definitely it's a process. For me, you know, I can tell you in my example, okay, I will not say how old I am, but...
35,
yeah.
I'll say.
No, less.
Okay, sorry, my mistake.
But in my primary school, my physical education classroom, it was like, okay, boys, you go to play football, girls, you go to play volleyball or whatever.
Yeah.
We never play nothing together with the boys. They separate us, you know.
Yeah.
So, okay, now it's a little bit different, but it's still, there is a lot of work. You know, we have to start to work on this base, you know, as I told you, go out and play with the kids, not with the boys or with the girls. In school, let's go, all class, they will play, all together they will play football. And those are the main thing. Also, you know, for me, the main role as a coach is a coach who is working with the kids, not with the senior team. Okay, yeah. The one with the senior team is visible because they're the place where the money, you know, coming or going. But the main role, it's definitely a coach who is working with the kids. That's the most difficult coaching role.
Exactly, because you're not just a coach. You are like a second parent to them. You're like educator.
And definitely because of the coach, these kids will continue or they will stop.
That's for sure. I remember that coaches throughout my athletic career were important to me as much as my parents in that sensitive age. And I'm really lucky to have really great people who I could relate to and go to if I had any problem outside of sports. And I also remember when we were young, which was a couple of years ago,
exactly,
we had a situation where if you want to go to a training, you needed to have a good grade. because then parents would
Yeah.
say to you, you cannot go to a training because it was important to you if your grades are not good. So you would be good at school because you didn't want to sacrifice what you liked the most, which was sports. And then when you go to sports, your coach would say to you, please bring me so I can see your grades to see what you're doing in school, because if you're not good at school, I'm not going to let you play. And today, because of the time that we're living at and all this money crisis and so on, just for the fee that comes from a kid, those values are not there. And we can see that school is not that important, which will end up influencing the sports career in a negative way as well. So that's where we see that times has changed. But still, as you said, this role of a coach of kids is the most important, and the biggest problem is that kids are being coached like they're seniors.
Yeah, definitely. So, if you ask me what I would like to change, those will be probably one of the thing. To make a project, like a government project, let's say, to educate coaches to work with the kids. Coaches,
and actually
doctors,
to find a way to forbid those who are not eligible to work with kids to work with them. Like, you can still work in sports, work in senior sports. Nobody's gonna forbid that. You're just not entitled to work with kids. I mean, this is the most difficult thing, and something that it's gonna take a lot of time not to change, even to tackle, but doesn't matter. It is in our responsibility, let's say, everybody who is involved.
And one more thing, to put like a physical education 3 or 4 times in a week in each school.
Yes, to increase the number of classes.
Doesn't matter which one, gymnastic, football, volleyball, whatever. Just play. Just play something.
Yes, that's for sure. And now, comparing to the period when you came to the federation and now, what is the difference in your environment what was the reaction when you came to your friends and family and said, I'm going to start working at the Football Federation in the women's football department? And what is the situation now? How did that change? How did you influence your environment of, let's say, regular people, friends?
They got crazy about women's football.
Phenomenal.
I did it.
Yes.
Really, all my friends, my relatives, my family, really, they fell in love in the women's football. Most of them, they are coming on matches, following, on TV. And some of my friends, they also have like girls, and they start to play football. And really, I cannot say that I have somebody around me who is, let's say, objecting, like
no negativity around.
No negativity, like women's football. No, really, I cannot say this, but definitely, I'm sure that there are people, they are still not accepting that girls are playing football, that a woman playing football, and actually they never saw any of these matches
and even if
these
they
girls.
did, they would compare it to a men's game, which is a really wrong approach.
Exactly.
To look at the girls' game through the eyes of men's game.
Yeah, true. And also for equality, don't fight for equality. Fight for the conditions that you deserved.
Yeah.
For me, that's the point.
Exactly.
Don't compare yourself with somebody else. Fight for yourself. So hopefully, what I can see that women's football is really going in a good direction, good way. We are still far away, but we are coming, We make some steps to come to this level. But for sure, I'm sure that sooner or later we will do something, we will be visible, the media will recognize us, sponsors.
Well, actually, that changed a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, I can see that there are more interest. I mean, from some, I see that there is an interest because there is nobody there, so they see their opportunity. But I don't mind if they're coming to our part of the game just because they see that this is a good way for them to, thrive and to be recognized, or to be, connected to the, let's say, first and biggest success of the women's game, so that they can say, I was there first.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
I
no
don't
problem.
question their motives. But I do see that there is a higher interest in a women's game.
Yeah, it is. And also what I noticed, that a lot of families are coming, on our matches, national team matches, which is really very important. Even, for the society, like, come on, bring your kids, enjoy, cheer for your country, cheer for this girl, because really they're fighting a lot. They're fighting a lot. It's not just a business,
Yeah.
They live. It's a pure passion, When they start to play,
They don't think about money.
yeah, they don't think about money. I'm always joking, but it's true. It's not a joke. Like, they don't know how to fail, Like, when doctor entered the pitch, they said, fix me, fix me, fix me. I need to go back, In the other teams, I will not say male, they're pretending, stopping the game.
Yeah.
But no, they want to play. They
Yes.
love to play. It's a pure passion. So why not bring your family, bring your kids to cheer for these girls, to cheer for the country, and to spend, some nice time with your family. It should be like this.
Do you think that this attitude, please fix me so I can go back, comes from the fact that we are always trying to prove ourselves, that we are worth of this chance that it's giving to us, or it's something that we can, as a female, connect to?
Well, they're fighters.
Yeah.
Those girls, they're at this moment in the senior national teams, they really started with nothing. Like 10, 15 years ago, we were nowhere. It was
Yes.
really like a low level of quality of everything.
Pure amateurism.
Pure amateurism. So they grow up with a fight. So I think it's really become their attitude,
Yeah.
Like they're fighters. It doesn't matter on the pitch, outside of the pitch, which is good. Which is good.
I can see they have transferred that to you, even though you had that character in you as well, because I see you as a colleague on a daily basis, what you're doing, and I see that you're doing outside of the field what they're doing at the field. So it's a team effort, I can say.
This is also my attitude. I can go to office, do the job, go out.
Yeah.
But I'm not working in a company, like go make report and go home.
Yeah.
If you don't feel this,
Yes.
then don't do it.
Exactly. Sports really
Yes.
requires
Yes.
certain level of passion. Of course, it is important to have those typical professionals from lot of fields who will bring some professionalism to our job, to our institutions and everything else. That's true.
Yeah.
But when we speak about people who are there in order to improve something, develop something, make a progress, make historical results like this one we are speaking about, then this is the thing that you need. You need that passion.
Yes,
It doesn't matter if you don't come from that world, like you didn't, or like if you come from that world like I did. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
In the end, if we have a same passion, we are
Yes.
qualified the same for that, and that's for sure. But I have to say and ask, how do you feel when still there are some colleagues of ours, whenever we speak about women's game, this positively, happily, and coming up with so many ideas that we have, they're like, please, don't bother your girls. Nobody will take care of that. Are you tired after so many years? Because I know that even today we have those comments, even from our nearest colleagues who actually put the work. That's not the question here. They put the work, they help us, they participate, but they end up with a comment.
Yes, but I will tell you a secret. 99% of them, they are watching those matches on TV. Most of them, they're commenting, like, wow, they really played good, or what happened? So they watched,
Yeah.
they watch. And I think those comments are something from the past, like half joke, half something that it was before.
Yeah.
But if really they think so, like what they're making comments, they would not watch the matches.
That's true.
So let's keep them to joke, and I will take this as a joke, because
And then when we qualify, we're gonna ask who's laughing now.
exactly. Now you will have double work.
Exactly. That's for sure. Well, I can speak with you, Bojana, all day about this topic. And I am really happy that I brought you to this podcast, because I do believe that all the girls and all the ladies who are playing any sport should meet people like you who accidentally came into sports but fell in love with it and really provided a lot for the development of the game. So on behalf of all of them, I can just say thank you and keep up the good work no matter the obstacles. And we'll definitely get to the big competition.
Yeah, thank you very much for this interesting podcast. And thank you personally. Thank you for being as you are, and for involving, I can say, your life for all these girls, that they're coming and that they will be, one day they will be the champions.
Well, this is our legacy.
Yes.
I'll say it like that.
Yes.
Big shout out to European Union for co-financing this project as a part of the cooperation partnership in field of sports.